Today, I am addressing the 400 million European citizens. A few days before the world kind of shifts at the moment of the new American presidency, I want to send a message of hope. If we are all united, if we are all determined, we Europeans can stop the horror that is the war in Ukraine. This war that seriously undermines the fundamental interest of all European citizens. The United States and China, on the contrary, are even benefiting from it. We, on the contrary, are weakening at a frantic pace. We must wake up. What is this war in Ukraine? It is a young man who decides to send a text message to his girlfriend, and a few seconds later, a missile falls on the barracks and everyone dies. And this concerns both sides of the front line. How can we get used to this type of horror on our European soil? What if it was our children? This must stop. It must stop immediately. It is cyclical and tragic. Humanity forgets. It forgets the horror that is war. Are we going to have to submit to this 0 degree of humanity? This 0 degree of civilization every 50 years, every 80 years, every 100 years? Or are we going to collectively make the effort of memory, the effort of restraint, the effort of diplomacy? I call on all the peoples of the center, the right, the left, to come together on this issue. Europeans do not want this war. It should no longer exist. The European citizens deserve to be respected. This civilization, born 4,500 years ago and triumphant with the invention of democracy 2,500 years ago on the Agora, on the Acropolis. We, all the peoples of Europe, must rise up, including the English people who were lied to. If all those who were opposed to Brexit could have been represented and united during the last vote that confirmed it, this choice, forced by a small handful of cynical men, this abject choice of the division of peoples would have been rejected. This is the forced choice of treason at a time when Europe is fighting against terrorism. Brexit goes against the spirit of Winston Churchill, who would have fiercely disapproved this dishonor. Shame on the perpetrators of this political crime. Sooner or later, these people will be judged very severely by history. With the help of several ambassadors, this diplomatic citizen initiative gave birth to a platform, citizensfordiplomacy.org, that I invite you all to join. I have always supported European construction and respected its institutions. But today, several organizations, such as the UN or NATO, urgently need to be reformed in depth. Similarly, if the European institutions are no longer adapted, if they no longer serve the fundamental interests of the European citizens, we Europeans will take our responsibilities. The terrible economic crisis of 2008, the terrible COVID epidemic, the terrible war in Ukraine, all these tragic moments confirm it to us. The time has come, my dear fellow citizens, to consider the idea of a European Republic. The time has come to become one nation.